The top performers are proudly sponsored by Warrington Wolves Supporters Trust Squad Builder. Here are your top performers from round 22 of the Betfred Super League. The top try scorer was Tommy Makinson for the Dragons at the HJ3 against the Wire. The most try assists came from Luke Keary and Jake Connor, they both got 2. Whilst the top meter maker of the round was Tristan Saylor, 258 for the Saints against the Giants. The most tackleables come from Lachlan Miller once again, 13 for the Rhinos. Whilst the most clean breaks came from Achille Aguirre of the Dragons and Mark Percival of the Saints, they both got 3. The most hard metres made down the middle came from Morgan Gallen of the Leeds Rhinos, 157 metres. Whilst the most tackles came from Jens Litton of the Robins with 49 and Frankie Holton of the Lee Leopards also with 49. And finally, the most goal kicks came from Jake Connor of the Leeds Rhinos, 9 from 10 against the Tigers. These are your top performers from round 22. This production comes to you in association with the Bluebell Warrington. Situated in an 18th century building in the town centre and just a 5-minute walk from the HJ Stadium, the Bluebell is the perfect destination for pre- and post-game food and drink. The 2024 Warrington Pub of the Year is now the official home of Super League Raw on Warrington Wolves match days for both home and away supporters. Super League Raw are delighted to have agreed a members-only area, allowing our community to come together to discuss rugby league pre- and post-match. So set your course to the Bluebell Warrington on match days and beyond. You are sure to be greeted with a warm welcome and a cold beer. Super League Raw and the Bluebell, the perfect partnership in enhancing your match day experience. So good evening and welcome to Super League Raw Weekly on this fine Tuesday night. Great to see young Alfie there on tour down in London, gentlemen. Reggie back from his holiday. How are you, Reggie?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Marvellous. And of course, Mr. Sale, as always, reporting for duty.
Hello.
Indeedy. But yes, the Super Chat is open. If you want to show your appreciation for some fine rugby league entertainment, by all means, buy us a coffee or a beer. Outstanding. Right, let's get into the show. Packed show, as always, ladies and gentlemen. We start with this, of course, this week coming 24th of August is the walk with Mickey. We will be posting the updates on our social media feeds. Please, as many people as possible, get down there, show your support for Mickey Heim this coming weekend. Of course, the QR code is there at the top of the screen. Anybody who's listening to the podcast, if you go to our socials, we will link in with Mickey on that. Do walk with Mickey, show your support for him and his family. That, of course, coming this weekend. A very worthy cause indeed. Right, let's get into the record breakers from round number 22. These were they. Josh Fulis made his 100th Super League appearance, gentlemen. Oliver Partington made his 150th Super League appearance. Tommy Makinson just needed one try to move ahead of Jermaine McGilvey to stand alone in sixth place. He did that well with his hat-trick. He's now in joint fourth with Paul Wellens and Keith Senior on 199. Jake Wardle, he got to his 150th in Super League, and Brad O'Neill got his 100th in his career. Gentlemen, great milestones, great players. Thank you for your service. Very nice indeed, Mr. Nixon.
Indeed, yeah. Great numbers. Tommy Makinson seems to have been around forever, but that first half hat-trick against Warrington, that the finish for the third try was absolutely spectacular. Unfortunately, I think that's where he did his shoulder, wasn't it? But what a great servant Tommy Makinson has been to the game for Saints and for Cats this season. Not been as prolific for Catalan this season. And he's had a lot of injuries throughout the last few years, so that's a great, to get to that milestone is a great achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. Steph, you like this part of the show. You like to show your appreciation for some wonderful achievements.
Yeah, no, it should be celebrated more, and I know the clubs make a big deal of it, with presentations before the game and stuff. But important that we do it as well, because they've been great servants to the game, and some of them still have got a long way to go as well.
Absolutely. And Adam Reeves has already bought us a brew. Well done, Adam. Thanks for that, mate. Really appreciate it. Adam, of course, loving what we do here at Super League Raw. If you don't mind, Adam, I will forfeit my brew for a nice summer Corona. This is for you, my friend. Thank you very much indeed for your hospitality. More where that comes from, I'm sure, as the show goes on. Let's do a few more shout-outs. Greg Roach is with us, as always. We've got Alex Griffiths with us under Griffos Retro Gaming. Tina Hull is with us, which means Sammy is. That's all the way from Benidorm, I think. So they're tuning in internationally. We know that Dawn Baker's with us as well. Roll Stag back from holiday. Of course, our resident Saints member. He'll be back on Final Whistle this week. John Wilkinson is with us as well. Tom Massa, Peter Barley. They're all in there. And I saw, did I say AD? Yeah, AD Simpson as well. Good to see Callum in the chat. We'll keep giving you your shout-outs throughout the show. Right, let's do the big kickoff in association with the Bluebell, our principal sponsor here at the Super League Raw. And I put this out on the trailer, the reel, a little bit earlier on. I think that the fullback position is probably one of the hotly contested positions of the Dream Team with 5 rounds to go. I think the people on screen are the main contenders. On the screen for the podcast is Jai Field, Tristan Saylor, Arthur Morg and Lockie Miller. Now, before we start the debate, before the chat lights up, Tristan Saylor, of course, has only played 8 rounds at fullback and he's unlikely to get the number 1 shirt. But I just wanted to put him on there to show appreciation for the great job that he's done in those 8 games. I think he's been absolutely outstanding, albeit I don't think he's going to get the number 1 shirt. Let's start there. Greg, you spoke a lot about players like Stephen Ratchford over the years. Because of his versatility, it's gone against him in dream teams and other things. Tristan Saylor this season has been very, very good and has, really hit some form and has played well in a multitude of positions. But because he hasn't nailed down a position, it means that for me, it'd be very hard to see him selected in the dream team.
100% agree with you there, Dave. He had a real rocky start to his Saints career. I think he will be the first to agree with that. And I think they put him out on the wing, and he seemed to find his feet out on the wing, and that now he's slotted in with Wellesby being injured. But yeah, Stephen Ratchford maybe got costed a place in the Dream Team because he played in so many different positions. I think it's a shame because he's proved to be, after, like I say, a rocky start, he's proved to be a solid investment for Saints.
Absolutely. Everybody's really enjoying seeing your nose this evening, so you might want to adjust the camera. Mr. Steph, you'd agree with that, I'm sure, where Tristan is concerned. The real debate, I think, is around the other 3. Jai Field got off to a phenomenal start, and to be fair, he isn't playing. It's not like he's fading. Jai Field, where would you see him in the 3 that are probably the real contenders for the number 1? Where would you put him? First, second, or third?
I put him third at the moment. I just think that's nothing against him. I think Jai's had another great season, and especially without Bevan French as well. I think he's really played well, and a lot of the good things Wigan have done this year has come through Jai. So played. But I just think the other two have been better in their respective teams.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying. Now, where do you see field one, first, second, or third, Greg?
I agree with Steph. I think third. I think, yeah, like Steph said, it's nothing personal against the guy or against Wigan. I just think other players that have performed better at fullback this season.
Fair enough. Which, of course, then leaves Arthur Morg and Lockie Miller. And for our friend who posted on the reel earlier on Facebook saying, let's tune into the Lancashire show, both of those two players play on the other side of the Pennines. Welcome to Super League Raw. You clearly don't watch us on a regular basis. Peter Barley straight in. He's gone in with a super chat. He's getting the drinks in for the lads. Well done, Pete. Really appreciate that. Before we actually talk about Arthur Morg and Lockie Miller, I just noticed in the chat, Phil Webster's brother Bill, a member here at Super League Raw, unbeknownst to us, had a stroke a fortnight ago. Get well soon, Bill. We hope that you're watching this wherever you're getting better. And this is just the tonic, sir, to make you better. A bit of Super League Raw on a Tuesday. Our love and best wishes to you. Right, let's have a right ding-dong then. Arthur Morg, Lockie Miller, two brilliantly informed fullbacks. And again, another player who isn't on the graphic, who we probably should mention in dispatches, played a couple of games at fullback, no more so than the weekend just gone, Jack Broadbent, another player who may miss out on the dream team because of his versatility, maybe, albeit centre could be an option for him. But yeah, we'll wait and see on that. Right, let's go first and foremost, Steph, to Arthur Morg. We were very surprised when he moved from Catalan Dragons. He's gone to Hull KR, and there's no doubt about it. He has improved them. He's a real quality fullback. He's added so much to their game this year.
Yeah, he's been exceptional, and I think the big difference with these two is his goal kicking as well, which he brings to KR. But I think Morg's been phenomenal. He's fitted in brilliantly in the way KR play. I think he's brought his game on to levels that we saw even more than what it was at Catalan. I think he's been outstanding.
Yeah, he has. Greg, ever since we started doing this show, me and you have always waxed lyrical over Arthur Morg.
Yeah.
It was a great pickup from Willie Peters, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think I said at the time, this could be the final piece of the jigsaw for Hull KR, a player like Arthur Morg. Punches way above his weight. He's skillful, has got a great vision, a great brain on him. He's brave, and he knows his way to the try line. He also can kick a conversion as well, as Steph says. A great player and an absolutely fantastic asset for Hull KR.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Thanks to Mike Todd. He also has gone into Super Chats. He wants to donate to the taxi that we got for Rebecca on Friday night. For those listening, that's a member of ours that was stranded in Wigan, and the Super League Raw community come together to get an Uber home so that she was home safe and well. That's what we do here at Super League Raw. We look after each other. But thank you very much indeed for that, Mike. If you don't mind, Mike, we will forego the taxi and we'll just say cheers. All the very, very best to Mike. Right. Great player, Arthur Morgan. He's certainly going to be in the shake-up for that. Lockie Miller, of course, was injured early doors in the season, as we saw at the start of the show in terms of the top performers from the round, and we'll see at the end of the show top performers in Super League 2022. Lockie Miller posts incredible meters, tackle bust galore. Steph, the last couple of weeks, his form has been incredible. I'm sort of guessing he's your number one at the moment, is he?
No, he's not.
You going Morg? You say Morg?
Yeah, the only reason I think Miller's been phenomenal these past few weeks, and I got to see him firsthand when Leeds beat Lee, and I thought he was excellent in that game. He was excellent in the subsequent games as well, against Castleford the weekend. So his improvement, I think, from last year as well. He was good last year. He showed glimpses of what he could be. This year, he's kicked on to a new level. But the only reason why I'm going to go Morg, and I think they're so close in terms of ability, but Morg has done it through the whole season. Miller's been injured for a portion of that. So I think just over the course of the season, Morg's not really put a foot wrong. And also his goal kicking has been phenomenal for KR. And I think he's a big reason why KR are sat where they are at the moment. So that's why I get Miller, and I get because he's very informed at this moment in time as well. But given how well Morg's played through the entire season, that's why I'm going to put Morg in at number one at the moment.
Yeah, well, Greg's saying in the chat, Greg Roach, is Arthur Morg dead good? All I would say is he almost stops you breathing when he's in full flow. Greg, is what I would say. Mr. Nixon, Which way do you see it? Do you see it, Miller or Morg?
Well, Lockie Miller is probably the only out and out fullback in that list. He's the only sort of genuine number one in that list. The others are very versatile, can play in different positions. So if you look at it in that respect, Lockie Miller would be or should be first choice fullback. He's had a phenomenal last few games. He just seems to get better every week. For me, he seems to improve week on week and has done that for the last few weeks. So, if you're looking for a pure fullback, you'd say Lockie Miller is one, but for all-round contribution and for impact, I'm going to go out to Morg as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think if a full, I mean, obviously we won't know. Legally, the Shield appears to be done. Of course, didn't play in the Challenge Cup final because he was cup tied. But yeah, I mean, look, he's very, very close. He's very, very close. Volstag's in. Volstag, he's put his hand in his pocket as well. He's getting us a beer. Well done, Volstag. Good man. Clearly came back with a couple of spare euros from his holiday and decided to donate them to Super League Raw. Well done, sir. But no, I mean, look, where Miller's concerned, 8 tries, 14 kicks this season. He's got 8 try assists. He's the top tackle buster in the league. Nobody's done more meters than him in the league. I think Miller's been incredible. If he carries on like that over the next 5 rounds, when we revisit this, when we do the actual dream team, it's going to be a real good tussle between the two of them, no doubt about it. And I just want to go back to Greg Roach's point and Jack Broadbent. He's been a great caretaker, really, really has, for Hull KR this season. Or is that an undertaker? Anyway, he's good under the up and under. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, there you go. Outstanding fare. No doubt about it whatsoever. It's going to be a really good tussle this by the end of the season. How good a battle would we have had some key fullbacks remain fully fit for the whole season? I mean, it really is. We're so blessed in Super League in the quality of the fullbacks. And for those who have only tuned in for the first time or watching this on repeat for the first time, how positive is this about Rugby League, eh? Incredible. Hey, this is what it's all about. Bigging the big game up. That's what Super League Raw is all about. Rugby League at its best. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We're always looking for new ways to entertain you as well on a Tuesday night. So we're going to park that up there because we've got lots to discuss this evening. But it would appear that it's a foot in the camp of Morg where Steph's concerned, a foot in the camp of Miller where Greg is concerned. I will sit on the fence at this moment in time. It's going to be very interesting over the next 5 rounds. Right, let's do this. You little ripper. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. Oh, yes, it's a whole new feature here. We thought we'd do this on my little travels around social media. It's time for some people to take a bow. Yes, we'll be doing Give Your Head a Wobble a little bit later in the show, but it would be wrong not to absolutely bask in the glory of some cunning linguists out there who are all over social media this week. And as you can see there, we've got Feed the World, ladies and gentlemen. Steph, any idea where I'm going with this?
Not the clue.
No, Greg, you've known me the longest. Have any idea where my brain has gone with this?
Oh, it could be anywhere, mate.
It could be anywhere. Right, let's get into it. The top 3. We've been around social media. Let's get into Take a Bow, son. Take a Bow. We're going to start with Mike Bewley, a Salford Red Devils fan. He's third this week with this little beauty. He says about the owners of Salford, they make the Glazers look like Bob Geldof. Good lad, Mike. Absolute comedy gold. Loving every moment about that, Mike there, doing a sterling job. Right, let's get into let's get into number 2. Any idea what this could be? For those listening on the podcast, we've got a young girl with her eyes covered. Right, Mark Perry, infiltrated, a Wakey fan, infiltrated his nearest and dearest's Facebook feed. And he said, what do young kids call embarrassing these days? Mum, Dad, or the Castleford Tigers?
That's naughty.
That's naughty. That is naughty. You've got to get. But Mark, mate, I have to say, good effort, sir. Good effort. And the winner this week, it's a beauty. It's an absolute piece of comedy genius. Here it is, right there for the benefit of the podcast. We can see inside the Warrington Wolves dressing room at full time. Jake Fulis is banging the drum, and Paul Simpkin, I think a Warrington Wolves fan, poking fun at his own team, said, "There's some cobwebs on that drum." absolute comedy gold. Coming back very, very shortly will be our brand new feature. We hope you enjoyed that.
Good night.
You little ripper. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. Yes, take a bow, son, take a bow. Always, always moving forward here at Super League Raw. I think that will have got quite a few chuckles in the chat. And as people are watching, that's what it's all about. Well done to our social media Ken Dodds, or whatever you want to call yourself. Absolutely outstanding. Right, let's have a quick championship check-in. Let's get that one done. And this one, who's this coming to you? Let's do Warrington Wolves Squad Builder. They can have the title for this one. And there's the results. Let's start with Oldham. Big win for Oldham. They got off to a flyer as well. They got a 10-0 lead in this game, and then they trailed 18-14. A cracking comeback from Batley. Before, believe it or not, guess who? Ryan Briley, newly signed for Oldham, goes in and gets them the win. Josh Drinkwater got a late conversion as well. Got to give credit to Batley, the second bottom. They really made Oldham work for it. But that win for Oldham, they're very clearly in the top six. But that just keeps their hopes alive a little bit in terms of the championship. It looks like they're going to be a playoff place. But well done to Oldham and Steph. Ryan Briley, what a debut.
Yeah, he's won quite a few games on that ground playing for Lee back in the day. So it's a tough place to go, Batley. Regardless of where they are in the league, that pitch is a massive leveler there. Although the food is exceptional if you ever visit Batley. But no, another good win for them that keeps them in the playoff race and a club with ambitions of Super League, obviously, as well.
Yeah, I think Dawn in the chat saying Band-Aid puns. No, I think it was a pun against Bob Geldof and a little bit of that. And yeah, okay, but come on, Dawn, bit of a giggle. Come on, have a smile. See, it's a Tuesday night. Enjoy it. Bit of banter. Right, let's go, Greg, to our good old friends over in Holton. Widnes kept their playoffs hopes alive with a good win at Barrow Raiders. Nick Gregson sealing the deal. Gregson, hey, the son of Greg, sealing the win on 76 minutes. Has to be said, though, Barrow should have won it. First half they were flying 8-0 up. They had a try disallowed. Some really good cover defensive tackles had to be done in that game as well. But Widnes in the second half were absolutely outstanding. Came back to get it won. And Widnes, of course, battling just about staying in contention for the top six.
Yeah, and I kind of miss Widnes in Super League. Those games, the Warrington Widnes games were always great games. But Barrow's a tough place to go to as well. I was there a few weeks ago with the women's team, and it's a real tight, compact ground, difficult to find as well. Tight, compact ground. The crowd's on top of you. Quite hostile when they get going. So that's a very, very good win for Widnes.
Yeah, Phil Webster says, it's the level of the pitch is 45 degrees. Weren't that hot here, mate? I'll tell you what, it must have been a hot day, that. But anyway, that's by the by. We now go to Doncaster Featherstone. Let's go to that one. What a game. Leeds against Leesk, 42 points to 30 there. Both went into the weekend on level points. It's a massive win for Featherstone in terms of keeping them taking them into the top six. Doncaster now 2 points behind. Massive win that for Featherstone. Another team, Steph, that's trying their best to probably get themselves up the pecking order where Super League's concerned.
Yeah, I think one for maybe next time round with Featherstone, and it feels like it's always the way with them. They're always the nearly boys when it's actual automatic promotion and relegation. They lose the final or they lose a semi when they're expected to win it. For me, it's just the infrastructure's not there at Featherstone at the moment for a Super League place. But no, great win for them and good that they're still in contention in the playoffs.
Well, Greg Roach has clearly been inspired by our Facebook friends who basically is asking Mr. Nixon now the question, the books on your shelf behind you, Greg, do they come with crayons?
It's great because he got little numbers in as well and they match the crayons. It's brilliant.
Greg today's got no filter on his camera again for the podcast, and Greg Roach decides to go straight in there. Good man, Greg. Loving that. Great banter. The two that, of course, at the top of the table teams, Toulouse, easy win, 58 points to 6. over Sheffield. York, a really convincing win over London as well, 42 points to 16. Bradford had a bye round last week. Halifax, their win against Hunslet, of course, were a rock bottom, 48-10. That puts them 6 now and back in the playoffs. No doubt about it, York, Toulouse. I mean, it's going to be a battle between those two. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, they are first and second. They play each other this weekend, Greg. That is going to be one hell of a game in Toulouse.
An absolute corking game, yeah. Be almost worth going over to watch that. Yeah, you know, York have really kind of consolidated and got it together. They've got a good ethos over the club at the minute. Got a lovely little ground there up in York. They're consolidated over past seasons, and they're really one of the clubs that are growing. And I think, given a bit extra investment and whatever, I think they'd give a good account of themselves in Super League.
Absolutely. And again, the reason we're doing this, Steph, and the reason that we decided to just dip into the Championship a little bit more with what's going to happen next year, the likes of York, Toulouse, Bradford, Oldham, they're having a right ding-dong for the Championship this year. They've clearly got a decent squad. If you actually look at some of the rosters, Oldham's, for example, I mean, we're sitting fourth there, Drinkwater, they now got Bryler. If you actually look down their roster, there's a plethora of former Super League players that are currently playing for Oldham. So they've got a nice mix of Championship stroke Super League. And then, of course, if they was to bolster, if they were to get in, they've got the tools to maybe come up and do a job. So that's why we're dipping into this. We make no apologies for it, because if they can bring that level of competitiveness to Super League, we're in good shape, aren't we?
I think everyone who's a fan of rugby league should have their eyes on the Championship, because this has got massive implications in terms of the league positions and where they finish is going to affect the IMG, whether they can nick a 12th over Salford. So it really does matter, and that's going to be an absolute monster game this weekend. York Toulouse, I believe it'll be televised as well on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch that one. The interesting point on this one is Toulouse have got a game in hand on York.
Correct.
So if Toulouse can win and then win that game in hand, they will leapfrog York to the top position. Yeah. So yeah, all to play for, and points make prizes. So it's huge in terms of the not only the Championship, but more importantly for the competition of Super League next season.
Absolutely. Greg Roach saying Super League road trip to Toulouse away on Steph's Platinum Amex. The charter flight's already done. We'll see you at the airport, mate. We're on our way, is what we'd say on that one. But no, what a great game. And let's be fair, it's one well worth tuning into on YouTube. Is that on the York site, the Toulouse site, or on Sports? And where's that, Steph? Do you know?
Well, I think both of them, York answer, because they get points for streaming the games, don't they? I think IMG points. So I think both of them. I think it'd be Toulouse who stream it. But I know like Bradford and York also are getting IMG points for streaming the games this year.
Yeah, well, that's one well worth tuning in for. Dawn Baker in the chat asking what's happened with the cancelled Wakey game. At the moment, they're using the word postponed. Whether that's going to happen or not, we don't know. There is a lot of talk that it might happen in the midweek before the last game, because of course those two teams meet each other in the last game of the season. So at this moment in time, that is not been cancelled, it's still postponed. So no announcement yet with regards to that. But yeah, incredible. And not just that, some other good games. Featherstone against Widnes, like I say, a must-win game for Widnes, that away at Featherstone. If they've got any ambitions of getting into the top 6, that's going to be a really interesting one. Doncaster, they will want to bounce back off the back of their defeat last week to Featherstone. That's going to be a tough game. And Oldham go to London. They also will need to be at their best for London. We'll keep tapping into this. Like I say, I, for one, will be tuning in to that Toulouse-York game at the weekend. Should be absolutely outstanding. Make sure that you're all over YouTube. Go and have a watch of Championship Rugby League. And York, let's not forget, York Knights are on an unprecedented run of wins. Really, really in great form. So I get Steph's point over Toulouse. If Toulouse was to win that, it's game on. But of course, if York was to win it, it's advantage York. It's going to be absolutely a sensational game of rugby league. Right, it's now time to do the usual. Here it comes. Banging or hanging?
This is what would Oliver say at Super League Raw. So obviously I went to the KRV Wigan game. And I thought it was a great game of rugby. Both sides' defence was like a brick wall. I would also just like to make my point, as there's been a lot of talk about the JWH situation. I agree what was given on the field. Although it could have been a penalty, I think that the amount of points JWH was awarded shouldn't have been that amount, because Samusoni did what JWH did week in, week out. I know I keep on banging on about it, but all we're asking for is consistency. I would also like to say, Petter Hickey, take a bow for that tackle. Fair play to Wigan though, put up a right challenge, and I also appreciate that the fans clapped us on the way out. What do you think, Super League Raw?
We love a bit of Ask Ollie. What would Oliver say here at Super League Raw? Brought to you this week by S&J Detailing. If you want your patio clean, get yourself over to our website and you will get 20% off your patio or your driveway jet washed this summer due to S&J Detailing. What would Oliver say? Well, what he has said is well done to Wigan fans, and I echo that. I wasn't there. Neither was Steph, neither was you, Greg. None of us were there. But if there were, for those Wigan Warriors fans who showed grace and gratitude for OK on the way out, very, very well done indeed. That is what it's all about. And that young man, you made an impression on him. That is what it's all about. Right now, let's get into the crux of what he said. First and foremost, Steph, the challenge, the tackle by Hiku was a beauty.
Oh, it was an absolute bone rattler, wasn't it? It was a really, really good hit, and this is the point. Oh, with the head high stuff and all the discussions we've had about that. Thankfully, they've gone away a little bit this season. But it just shows it's a bit like the George Williams one, I think, on, was it Tariq Sims?
Yeah,
George Williams.
on Williams, yeah.
It's similar to that. It just shows you can still tackle really hard, and the hits that we all love seeing, but do it in a legal way. It was a great tackle.
Yeah, I mean, you see a tackle like that and you see Harry Smith. Anyway, we won't go there. Greg, let's get into the real crux of what Ollie had to say, which is around the JWH one. He's a bit disgruntled. He's a Robins fan. He's going to be, isn't he? Saying that Sam Lizone does it, so JWH should get away with it. JWH won't get away with that for me because of who he is. We said about Paul Vaughan, it's an easy one for the match review panel to give. But as far as I'm concerned, probably the first time on What Would Oliver Say, I disagree with you, young man. I think JWH should have been given a yellow, possibly a red. And I think actually those points were very, very generous. You should not be running like that. But I also agree with you. Lizone does it as well. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, just because somebody else doesn't mean, two wrongs don't make a right. I actually think he was very lucky to stay on the pitch. I can't see why it hasn't been dealt with there and then on the pitch. And yeah, I think 2 games is about right for something like that, as far as I'm concerned.
Craig Forth said it's a straight red. Tom Massa, he said, should get a big ban, as should Lizone. So we also agreeing with Oliver that, Lizone has set a little bit of a precedent. Dawn Baker agreeing with Greg. 2 wrongs don't make a right. JWH, Steph, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I made my point on round unpack with to the members. The problem for me with this is the disciplinary have seen it, and they've obviously given the ban. We spend so long looking at whether a ball was ripped out 3 minutes at times on a captain's challenge. How a video ref can't see that, and Wigan get no benefit now from what happened. The video ref can clearly see what's happened, and he could clearly have had a word in the referee's ear and said he needs to go for 10. Yeah, I agree. It was borderline red. So that was the biggest problem for me. We seem to be using the technology for ages on tries that are scored. You can clearly see the tries, but yet when there's a serious incident, when we could be down to 12 men, which does affect the game massively, we're too scared to make a decision, and that's the biggest problem with me.
Right, I mean, there's a couple in the chat. Greg Roach saying it's about tackling technique. He's in there. There's a couple of conflicting points around this. Again, for those who aren't members, we did say on Round Unpack. For those, like I say, non-members who are watching, my view on this is about defenders should protect themselves. If that's the other way around and the defender runs into the attacker with his elbow, he's off. So what's the difference? That's my point. It's as simple as that. That isn't about tackling technique. That is about, for me, the player has gone into the tackle with his arm up, doesn't need to be up, and it's sitting flush in the face. And even JWH put his hand up. He knew that he'd done him.
But the point is, why is the video ref had a perfect view as we did. Everybody on the night was saying it's an elbow to the head, it's a yellow stroke red card. So why is the video ref bottled it? And that's what he's done. They just don't want to make a decision that's going to result in a player sitting down for 10 minutes or for the rest of the game. And these are referees. It's not a match review panel. This is referees who know the laws of the game inside out. So I don't get how they didn't make the decision on the night when a panel happened.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. Not a good look. I mean, like I say, they could have looked at it. They didn't. I think it's a bad look for the sport when there's a stoppage in play. The video ref has seen it, and the match review panel are the ones who adjudicate. And like I also said on Round Unpacked, not only did Wigan not benefit for the 10 minutes minimum that should have been given to JWH, but they also don't benefit because the 2 games he's going to miss are Leeds and Saints.
Yeah, and that has an impact as well. So yeah, it just needs to be better. It needs to be better. And when we've got the likes of video refs now at every single game, there's no reason why we spend 3 minutes looking at a knock on and not serious foul play.
Yeah. Message from Reggie. There's a power cut. He's back. Here he comes. Here, he's back. He's back. His power's obviously come back on. There he is.
Yes.
Lights are back on.
Wi-Fi, because there's no power. There's no Wi-Fi.
That's a good point. It's just come back on. Outstanding. Well done. Good to have you back, mate. You haven't missed much, really. We've been rabbiting on. We'll move quickly on. Right. Hanging and banging, as always. Lots to get through. Loads of conversations to be had. So we'll get rid of Mr. Sale for the first one, and we'll bring Mr. Nixon in. Tell you what, need to do that properly. There you go. Greg, the women's game. Hanging and banging. Absolutely. I mean, 4 games, 4 nils. Over you.
And big scores racked up against them as well. It is. You know, I'm probably boring people, so I'm not going to repeat what I've been saying over the last season. But we need to look at the women's game. You know, you see on the BBC at this moment in time, they are heavily advertising the Women's World Cup, which starts this weekend in Rugby Union. You know, they've got features on the One show about it. They've got live shows 3 hours long on the BBC One. We kind of need. We won't get that with the women's game in Rugby League at this moment in time, but we need that to take impetus from this, and we need to start investing more. I think. I mean, fair play. I was at the Saints Huddersfield game, and Huddersfield played really well, to give them the due. They bombed quite a few tries. Warrington have a lot of rebuilding to do. Lee Westwood is in interim charge there while Jed serves his ban from the RFL. But yeah, you know, the more we've gone through this season, the more one-sided, the more that Wigan, Saints, and the other 2 have kind of built throughout the season. You know, what's the answer? We know what the answer is. Are we going to get it? I'm not so sure for a few years yet. And that's the issue, you know. Warrington especially, and again, I've said this countless times. I'm boring myself with it. Are in danger of missing out on a golden generation of players in this area, as are other teams.
So you're saying banging,
banging for the teams that have got it right, hanging for the women's game at the top level, because there's lots of good work being done at grassroots, lots of good work being done in the lower leagues for Women's Rugby League. Just seems that we can't get it right in Super League at this moment in time. Fair
enough. And of course, Wigan have come to providence because they've invested. That is the blueprint. Right, let's bring Steph in. Steph, now, over to you, sir. Joe Shorrocks, the latest signing for the Leeds Rhinos. Hanging and banging?
It's a decent squad player for Leeds, and I can see why they brought him in. So in that respect, it's banging for them. It gives them extra cover. I think Joe's a really good player, but do I think he's a top 4 Super League standard player? No, I don't. But I can see why they brought him in. He's done really well for Salford since he's been there. So for this season, great. I don't know what kind of deal he's signed.
I think
Whether it's just a
loan to the end of the season.
loan to the end of the season. So yeah, in that respect, it's banging for Leeds. It's good cover for them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've got they're trying to get money off the wage bill, aren't they? That's what it is at Salford. A lot of people have asked the question, you know, when they're trying to put a team together, why they're letting Joe Shorrocks go, because they pay Joe Shorrocks. You know, it's as simple as that. They've got to keep moving players on. Unfortunately, what does this say about Cam Smith? I mean, you know, he is an out and out loose forward for me, Joe Shorrocks. They've got Callum Watkins playing there as well. They seem really well covered in the back line. You know, Gannon back now as well, Bentley, O'Donnell, etc. Is this an indication that there's a bit of a concern maybe over Cam Smith?
There has been all season, hasn't there? You know, he's been in and out of the team. So that's what I'm saying. It's banging in terms of it's not like they've gone out and signed an NRL player, but it's great cover for them. So, and I can see why they've done it.
Fair enough. We'll say goodbye to Steph. We'll bring Reggie back. And Reggie, you like this? Well done to the Casford Tigers, who are actually advertising for an open trial for young girls between the ages of, I think it's 12 to 15, at Castleford on the 26th of August. As a dad whose daughter has been picked up by the St. Helens Club as part of their pathways, you would absolutely endorse any young lady in the Casford area to get down there, get the trial done, and see how they get on.
Yeah, Casford, Wakefield, Featherstone, all girls in that area. Get yourself down there, get yourself known to these teams, and you know, it's, as I say, the girls' game at grassroots level, right through to, you know, academy level, is absolutely fantastic at this moment in time. It does, despite, you know, a bit of negativity from me as the state of Women's Super League, I can't speak positively enough about the work that's going on to promote the women's game from age 9, 10 upwards throughout, you know, the rugby playing areas, and London as well, believe it or not. Areas like London are also buying into this. So yeah, if you're in that, if you're a 12-year girl and upwards, get yourself to this and get involved. They're fantastic events.
One thing that the lads over the years have benefited from is what Rugby League provides in terms of, you know, support, in terms of socialisation, life skills, etc. And it'll be exactly the same for the girls as well. Get yourselves down there, absolutely banging. We say goodbye to Greg. We say hello to Steph. Steph, this one in, of course, the timetable has been announced for the race for Super League, with the big date being, I think it's the 16th of October, when we're going to find out who the teams are that are being promoted. Is that enough time? Are you happy that this has been, you know, published? Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I've not seen many journos, you know, celebrating the fact that they've actually produced a timeline and give everyone clarity on it. So for me, that's banging. It's going to be exciting. It's going to build a bit of drama towards the end of the season alongside the playoffs. I'm really excited for which teams can make it, and the process that they go through. And I know firsthand with Michael Blee that got promoted through the same system. Has massively benefited our club, the Lee Leopards, in terms of it's an audit of your own side and your infrastructure and everything. So even the ones that don't get in, it's a really good process to go through, because it'll tell you exactly where you are and what you need to do to improve to be able to be a Super League side. So I'm really excited to see how these teams step up now, and what they're going to produce and what guarantees they're also going to give. Because at the end of the day, the IMG is going to be one of the main criteria, but the other main one that sits alongside of that is financial stability, and it's going to be really interesting to see which clubs can prove that to the RFL.
Well, obviously, we published the full release on our socials, and I mean that bit it's crystal clear that they do talk about the IMG, the pillars of the IMG, but then they do say that these ones that fall outside of that financial, their ability to be sustainable and to produce a team that can be competitive is the utmost. That screams out of the document. So for me, I think, you know, we are seeing the right things being said, and as long as they are transparent when decisions are made, I don't think any rugby league fan can have any real issue with it. 16th of October. That's the big date, ladies and gentlemen. As we say goodbye to Steph, and we say hello to Mr. Nixon, who is back. And Greg, Rob Burrow. There's only one Rob Burrow is up for a NTA. People need to vote for this. Vote now for Rob. You go to the National TV Awards. Everybody who's watching this, anybody who's listening to this, please, please, please vote for Rob Burrow. Wouldn't it be a fitting tribute to the Burrow family if that documentary, which was heartbreaking but also insightful, walked away with a gong?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's what a... Emotional wasn't the word, was it really, watching that show? Yeah, please, let's get the rugby league community, let's get behind this, let's drive it home for the win. Thoroughly deserves it. And we knock the BBC a lot of the time for their rugby league coverage, but they were absolutely on the money as regards Rob Burrow and his family's fight and what Kevin Sinfield's done. So, fair dues to the BBC for producing this, an absolutely fantastic programme.
Banging?
Oh, absolutely banging.
100% banging. Fantastic. Yeah. We say goodbye to Reggie. We bring back in Steph. And Steph, we had the pleasure of meeting these fine gentlemen in the Bluebell before the Catalan game. To Hull and back for MND, very pertinent off the back of Rob. Please visit our socials to donate. They've already raised over £10,500 for MND. Very well done to the Hull and back brigade.
Yeah, absolutely. Two really, really good guys. I've known them, both Lee lads. Known them since my play. We actually played on the same team together back in the day when they used to do message board rugby league supporters teams. So yeah, known really well. Two really good guys and phenomenal what they're doing. Walking from Hull. They started it at the Lee and Hull game this weekend, walking all the way back to Lee and visiting every Super League club on the way. Phenomenal effort what they're doing, and 10,500 is a superb achievement. And I know there's some really, obviously meeting Kev Sinfield there. I know the hospitality they got at Hull over the weekend was phenomenal. And if you can go on and track the progress, and if you can get out and give them a wave as they're going past that'd be phenomenal. And also if you can donate to a cause that's close to all our hearts, this is absolutely banging. Two lads doing a phenomenal thing. It's no mean feat to walk from Hull to Lee.
It's not. No, outstanding. Really good to see them on their way at the Bluebell. 10,500. Keep your eye on our socials. They're posting on our socials. We've given them access so they can keep us up to speed with how they're doing. Go over to GoFundMe to Hull and back if you want to support them in their charity walk to raise money for MND. Absolutely banging. Well done, chaps. Right, we bring Greg back to this. Greg, you might have missed this, but post-game, St. Helens, Paul Wellens said that Morgan knows he's the best in Super League by a distance. Paul Wellens believes he's man of steel. Do you agree with him?
No. The best at what? Third in the tackle?
Oh, that's harsh, Reggie. That is harsh.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe he's better than that. I jest. But he has been known to be third in the saddle in his time. He's good. He's not man of steel by a long, long way.
I'll tell you what was interesting. We put a poll out on this on our Facebook page, and it was tighter than I thought. 41% said yes, 59% said no.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's good. He's had a solid season. He's been steady, if not spectacular, I think, this season. He's done a good job. But
would you not have him as 13 in the dream team this year?
I think Minchella. I'd have something to say about that.
Oh, that's an interesting one. So you completely. So for Mr. Wellens, you're saying
no? You're hanging with that one.
Wow, there you go. I don't know what Volstags has got to say about that, but there you go. He'll be filthy with you. And the last one for this week's hanging and banging is this: Rugby League. Nobody does it better. In a week where Helen Mirren said, and rightly so, James Bond is a man, full stop. Well done to Saints and the Giants pre-game at the Totally Wicked. Of course, it was victory in Japan Day, the end of the Second World War. What a lovely touch that both teams went out with shirts with heritage numbers of the fallen to start that game. Something I've never seen in any other sport. It was, for me, a wonderful tribute. Well done to both sides. Steph, over to you.
Yeah, no, it's this is absolutely banging. Like we said about recognising our players' achievements earlier in the show. Great to see Saints recognising. I'm presuming these were former players of Saints.
Players who fought in the Second World War, who passed away in the Second World War, and they took out their heritage numbers. I just thought What a wonderful, and it was, and again for me, something like that that's groundbreaking. I've never seen anything like it. That should have made the news for me.
Yeah, definitely. And my granddad fought in the war, as many other people's granddads did. Lucky enough, he survived and managed to go on and have his rugby career and do what he did.
Yeah.
But VJ Day, V Days, they're very very important to all of us in terms of how we live our lives now. And the saying "lest we forget," is the most important thing for me. It's the reason we're here speaking English, doing what we do, and anything we can do as sport to commemorate the people who fell and fought for our freedom is something that should always be championed.
Here. Well done to Saints. Well done to Huddersfield. It was a very poignant moment indeed. I, for one, very, very grateful to both sides for doing that on the day. Absolutely outstanding. Right. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Let's check into the chat, shall we? And I have to go there. Bazza Kingston's in there saying, should we scrutinise Harry Smith? I think we have. I think the whole of social media has. At the end of the day, there's no point in scrutinising somebody who looks a bit of an idiot. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Harry, great player, but yeah, not great. We can't scrutinise, yes. Penalise, no. Harry, wow. Just simply wow, Harry, is all I'm going to say. Anyway, there you go. Oh, there you go. Look at that there. Rebecca Fraser already gone and voted for Rob Burrow to win his award. As a couple, actually. Phil Webster's done it as well, which is absolutely marvellous. And Jonathan Manson, just saying because he can, that the Saints are the most improved team of the year. That would either be Hull FC or Wakefield Trinity. Would anybody disagree?
No, I'd throw Leeds into that mix as well.
Leeds as well. Sorry for John. Don't get me wrong. Saints do it going well. Have they really improved? They're still thereabouts where they were last year. I think for most improved, you've got to have gone significantly forward.
Leeds eighth to fourth.
Yeah. I remember Saints were top of the league despite their injuries for a long time last season. Yeah. They were in the top two for a long, long time. And only dropped out towards the end and just managed to scramble in. But they were in a much better position for a lot of last season despite their injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, outstanding. Wonderful stuff. Right, okie dokie. Let's quickly box this one off. Joel, for those who are wondering where Joel is, he's got a family engagement tonight. He can't be with us. Joel will be back next week. So we'll do a quick update on the Fantasy League. Here we go.
This is Joel Scholes with your Fantasy League update. Let's see who the movers and shakers are for this week.
Yes, let's see who the movers and shakers are this week in Joel's absence. And it's Alan Bagley who's gone back into first, taking over from Stuart Scaife, who was then, I don't know where the Y came from, Stuart, I do apologise for that. But he's gone back into second place. So Alan Bagley at the moment is winning his season ticket for 2026. Stuart Scaife is winning his replica shirt. And Alan Bagley is also winning a Super League Raw hoodie for 2026 as well. Why? Because the members here at Super League Raw. And it really is game on. Alan, Stuart and Neil, they really have been putting a lot of effort into the Fantasy League, and that's why they hold the top 6 positions. Stuart is also in 9th as well. They put a lot of work in, but Stephen Broomfield, a Leopards fan who's sitting in 7th, he's not out of it. 15,037 is what he's got, just 350 between him and Alan at the top. So Stephen, you're still well and truly in it. David Moore, you shouldn't give up either. You've got every chance as well of getting into those top 3 places. Of course, the Fantasy League will return next year. If you're not a member, become a member, because you get the opportunity of basically winning your season ticket, replica shirt or a hoodie as part of our Fantasy League, a part of course, the official Super League game in terms of the Fantasy League. So well done to Alan, who currently leads, with Stuart in 2nd and Alan again in 3rd. Right, let's get on to this.
Give your head a wobble.
Welcome to Give Your Head a Wobble. And let's be fair, we did say it was going to be a belting week for wobbling, and you did not let us down, you wonderful people on social media. As we expected, there's quite a few from Wigan. The Wigan Warriors, of course, having lost to KR. It is an extended. There's quite a few to get through here, boys. So sit back, hold tight, and let's get wobbling. Here we go. We're going to start with Phil Jewson, a Wigan Warriors fan, who actually, and again, people will have the view on this, but I'm very firmly in the camp that JWH was a lucky boy. So I think this is a wobble. He says nothing. There was nothing in the JWH incident. Maybe Dupree should learn to tackle, which is what Greg Roach's thoughts were. Personally, got nothing to do with the tackler. I'm wobbling on that. Sorry, I'm going a bit like that. I'm not having any of that. However, whilst that's contentious, 50-50, you can sit on the fence. You Robins fans, turn away now, because Eileen Wilkins, a Hull KR fan, hang your head in shame, because she says, tell JWH if he's going to elbow a player, save it to foul and make it a good one. Eileen. Unbelievable. That is a shocker. That's not what the rugby league community is about. That is absolutely disgraceful. Not happy with that. 100% deserving of a wobble. Now, Mark Davison, a Wigan fan, he's very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. He said that the pack got battered. Harsh created nothing. Our basic skills resemble a poor under-12s team on a rainy day, and I've given most of these Muppets new contracts. Muppets. He's calling the quadruple winners of 2024 Muppets. Come on, Mark. You'll be the first to be cheering and screaming and dancing if there was to go to Old Trafford and win it. They're still in it, mate. What are you going on about? Absolutely diabolical. But it could be worse. You could be Danny Bailey, another Wigan fan. Here we go. Hold your horses. Hold me beer. Go away, Pete, and coach St. Pat's. Take foul with you. Pete has lost his edge. Oh, he's all gone off down in Wigan. He's absolutely gone off. It's unbelievable. What is going on? Can you believe what we're reading? Oh, lads, I do, honestly.
Yeah, genuinely, this is why aliens fly straight past us. Genuinely.
Second in the league, Bevan French to come back, Thompson to come back, playoff rugby league in December. Anything could happen. And wobbles galore. Anyway, let's give our friends at Wigan a little bit of a break, because actually, in fact, before we do that, should we just give some massive wobbles out? Let's give some massive wobbles out. So where are we going to go? Shout out, to all the Warriors fans who said this weekend after the women's game, that the Warriors men should learn how to defend like the women and should train with the women. What are you on about? Wigan women have to play 4 tough games a year. Yeah, Greg's already said it today. Completely different comp. You're having a laugh. Yeah. You're having an absolute giggle. And I would also like to shout out to all the Wigan Warriors fans who did go onto social media saying that Harry Smith was only joking and didn't take a dive. No, he didn't. He dove. He absolutely dove. He realised what he was doing and he got up. Shocking effort, Mr. Smith.
They tried to say that he was taking the mickey out of Mickey.
Oh, mate. Shocking.
He realised what he was doing and jumped up straight away.
Absolutely. And then finally, yet again, our good friend, and there's a few of them, there's Red Les and there's our old friend Carl Barley, who, whenever his team get a scalp over somebody else, his first point of call is to not celebrate it, not go to the fridge and get a beer, but to infiltrate their social medias and start stoking the fire, just like he did when his team won at the Challenge Cup final and he infiltrated Warrington. And this shout out is for Carl, but also for the 67 Wigan Warriors fans who took the bait and gave him oxygen. What are you doing? Ignore it. That's the reason he does it. Even Greg's fell off his chair. You know what I'm saying? Says everything that you need to know. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Right, let's go to St. Helens. It's fair to say Paul Wellens is doing well. It's fair to say that this channel has been very supportive of Paul Wellens all year, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes, we're coming. So you St. Helens fans, go and watch all the episodes this year. We have not lost faith in your coach all year. We have felt that he has been very badly represented by some of the people on social media that claim to support your club. And off the back of what has been a really good run of form, off the back of potentially, maybe, having an opportunity of getting second, Stefano Jeffs, a St. Helens fan, says, play against the poor team, but we never played Alawello. That performance was all Breers. You'd be going mad about Breers all year. Absolutely unbelievable. Now then, great news for St. Helens, you'd think, at the weekend. Jack Wellsby back, quality player. It's a headache. It's a headache. It's an absolute headache for Paul Wellens. Of course it is. And there was a lot of questions over Tristan Saylor. They've been answered. He's doing really, really well. But Andy Dooley, a St. Helens fan, says that Saylor has been outstanding at fullback, but our brains trust coaches moved him to bring the show pony back. So the Messiah that was Wellsby is now a show pony. You couldn't write it. Unbelievable. It gets worse. Don't get me wrong, Tristan Saylor is in great, great form, but some of the Saints fans are getting a little bit giddy. Graham Kerr being one of them. By all accounts, Tristan is the thinking man's Ben Barber. Outstanding.
Quite what that means for Ben Barber, I don't know.
I don't know either. Now, look, this is just for fun. For people who think, it's for fun. If it's out there, it's out there. We're going to have a bit of a laugh about it, yeah? We always say, we understand this is 0.1% of your entire fan base. We get that, but let's all join together and have a laugh. If they're going to put it on social media, let's have a laugh about it. Now, Stephen Baines, another St. Helens fan. Now, what a 20-minute cameo Tristan Saylor had at hooker. What an incredible cameo he had at hooker, because it must have been good. It must have been good because it reminded Stephen Baines of a young James Roby. Skill, pace, quick rugby brain. So the goat that was James Roby, the greatest hooker of all time, has been matched in 20 minutes by Tristan Saylor against Huddersfield Giants. Oh, no, don't go too far, Stephen. Don't go too far, please. Wow, unbelievable. We had another infiltrator. We did. So again, Saints, rather, Alan Newsham, rather than basking in the glory of his team's form and doing well against Huddersfield, what does he do? He thinks, I'm going to go onto Huddersfield Giants Facebook page and I'm going to post about Flanagan and say Flanagan can't compete against men. Missed tackles, way out of position, or when he missed the goal. How many times has Flanagan been man of match against men this year?
Yeah.
Alan,
mate. The same about Robertson last season.
Alan, mate, just stay on your own platform. Celebrate your team's joy. What are you doing, Chief? Said it was an extended one. We haven't done Wobble for a couple of weeks. I knew this week was going to be the gift that kept giving. And it is because John Allenson, a Hull FC fan, said that the Wigan KR game was the worst game he'd seen all year.
I saw that. I saw that and dropped my phone like I just did then. Dropped my phone. I couldn't believe what I was reading.
Oh, you couldn't write it, could you? Oh, dear me. Right. Thomas Baines. Thomas, mate. I don't think you've been many Hull FC games this year. I don't know what Lewis Martin would have to say about this, but by all accounts, that try that Lewis Martin scored was the best try he's ever scored. What?
Scored off a Lee mistake.
Oh, dear me. That's embarrassing. No, I'm sorry. He scored many, many better ones than that. Right, let's go to Lee Leopards. Gary Grundy, a Leopards fan. He said they were shocking. And in his opinion, they couldn't catch a cold and Salford would have beaten. Oh, God. It was a good game. It was a tight game. I don't know.
It was a good game.
Yeah. And the last one, it was an extended wobble. I hope you've enjoyed the wobbles. They are out there. We're going to stay with the Leopards. And people will say, well, look, took Mickey out of Warrington with the drum. You know what I mean? To be fair, the Warrington fans were pretty clean. I couldn't find one. It was all over it. I was expecting some head explosion. I was expecting a lot of abuse for Fitzpatrick because of the booing at half time, but that didn't happen either. Interesting that. I was expecting a lot of ammunition from Warrington. I did look, couldn't find any apart from the drum, which was comedy gold. But Peter Bissell, another Lee Leopards fan, he said this: for the first time in 15 years, and he's 63, I found myself falling asleep watching a game of rugby league, missed 25 minutes of the second half. Pete, You're supposed to have your Horlicks at 10 o'clock at night, Chief. Don't do it in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Not when the rugby's on. You don't want to be falling asleep. We're that bad, Pete. Anyway, I've got to stop because I'm getting a headache. I've wobbled my head that much. Unbelievable. But, boys, it has to be said, social media and some of the people who supposedly support the great game of rugby league and their team, they are the gift that keep giving. Would you agree?
I don't know what games some of these people are watching, if I'm being honest.
No, neither
I
do
really don't.
Yeah.
You're going to get good games. You're going to get bad games. You're going to get bad performances. You're going to get good performances. It happens, but don't throw your dummy out just because that happens to be your team that week.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Heather Bailey is late to the party, but she's straight in with a super chat, $4.99. You don't have to pay us for being late, but we will, of course, have a beer, Heather, in your honour. Thank you very much, Heather. And what a debut from Heather Bailey on the Final Whistle podcast. Yes, by all means, go back and listen to that. Really good debate. A different feel to the Final Whistle podcast this week. We're trying to liven that up a little bit. We hope you enjoyed this week's version. That's what's going to happen going forward. A little bit more bang, bang, as opposed to dwelling on the same point too much. So thanks for the feedback that we got on that. It has been action. Nicola Burtonwood in the chat with 4 kisses. No Joel tonight. So just like Dopey in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I'll have 2. Thank you very much indeed. And that, yes, here we go. Get ready for the chat. Dopey and all the grief that's going to come my way now because I said the words Dopey. But there you go. Right. Okay. We're going to look. We've been going now for an hour and 6 minutes. Greg, he wants a beverage. Knowing Mr. Sailors ado, he's probably got his legs crossed and he's gagging to go and have a comfort break. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do talk about the Super League Royal membership here. One of the great shows that we put together, giving our members front and centre under the floodlights. That's right. We give our members their own show because some of the stories that fans have are just as engaging as players and coaches. So we take great pride in allowing our Super League Raw members the opportunity to have their own show, which is called Under the Floodlights. And I did ask Greg in his last week why he enjoys being a part of Super League Raw. This is what he had to say. It's been a really good quality conversation. Last one from you. You mentioned the community. People who are watching this who aren't members, why should they become members?
They should become a member to be part of something unique and special in different ways. It's the way. Well, they should become a member because they get loads of fab entertainment off you. You know, why was I heritage number 2? And I can't believe I wasn't heritage number 1 because I did it on the night you said, I'm going to do this thing. And I thought, I've watched these guys entertain me with facts, figures, humor, positivism, not like 90% of the other podcasts, which are telling you why our game is woe. They're fun, they're amusing, they do all this stuff, for the price of a latte. That seems like a pretty good deal. Otherwise, I'd feel slightly taken advantage from that point of view. So definitely for the rugby league content and the laugh and the fun. But it's the community then of people looking out for each other. And I love the game and my knowledge of the game in talking to the other fans we have about their clubs. I didn't really have a view on Lee or Hull KR or Salford or even Leeds till I met people in that and people, good people. Someone like Mark drove the wrong way to pick me up, to take me up to Magic Weekend.
He's a Leeds fan.
Who's a Leeds fan.
You didn't know 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we got Joel and I got some surprise visitors coming to the stadium who weren't fans. And Dave, I just couldn't speak that. It was emotional anyway. That touched me and it slightly took me off in an angle. And then Giants did what they always do, which is disappoint immensely with the rubbish performance when it matters most. But that moment where you think, wow, these people are here. It lets you be part of something which and you can be as much or as little as it. But, we've had people who haven't wanted to go to a game by themselves. So they're now going with other people to watch it. So you can choose as much as you want, but it's just upbeat, positive, and it's about the love of our sport. We can agree to disagree. you think Warrington's going to be their year next year, and I'll disagree with you. We can agree to disagree, but we'll do it with a smile, we'll do it with a laugh, and we'll do it with respect. And honestly, would encourage anyone who's interested in the sport to be part of a great community. And I said it at the beginning, Dave, and that's one of the reasons I admire you in terms of what you set off, what you've built, and long may it be successful.
Yes, and Alex Sharp is next. Great Under the Floodlights with Greg. If you haven't watched that, ladies and gentlemen, it is available on our YouTube page. Greg talks about how he got into the game of rugby league, some ideas he's got around the game of rugby league. It's a really good hour. A passionate Huddersfield Giants fan talking passionately about our game, our community, and of course his beloved Huddersfield Giants. It was a privilege to be in his company, as it always is, for that hour and a bit. Really enjoyed it. Garibo showing his appreciation in the chat for us. Yes, he's gone in with a super chat. Thank you very much indeed for that, Garibo. He's just quite simply put, and I'll just quickly put it up on the screen, in appreciation. That's all it took. In appreciation. You'll do for me, Garibo. Top man. But anyway, back to this one. Yes, the members only. So members, prick your ears. Here we go. Members only competition. So if you're a member, this is for you. The Bluebell have donated 2 pairs of tickets to go and watch Kevin Sinfield in Wigan on the 16th of September. We are going to be giving them away this time next week. That's right. So if you remember, and if you can get to Wigan on the 16th and you want to go and watch Kevin Sinfield on his speaking tour, you can go for free. We'll be doing a members only draw. So another reason to become a member. 40 odd of us going to the grand final together. Another reason to become a member. So yeah, loads of reasons. Go to our website, www.superleagueraw.com, where you'll get all the information that you need. Do come and join this community. But yeah, if you're a member, opportunity for you to go to Kevin's speaking free of charge. Greg, I'll come to you because Steph and me were talking about this on Round Unpacked. You were there at the Power Hall. This is a great prize for our members to go and watch, Kev.
Absolutely fantastic. What a great night that was. Oh, gone again?
Share again. It was that good. Share again. Yeah, we can hear you. We can't see you now.
Every time I move, things fall.
Anyway, right. While you get yourself back together, Steph, you would echo.
Right, I'm okay.
I'm going to go. I can't see you.
All right. I'm
can't
still
see
here.
you.
I can see me.
Well, I can't see you. It was a great night. Whilst you're getting your camera back working, Steph, you would echo it.
It was a brilliant night, and anyone who's not seen or been to any of these speaking tours of Kevin's, they're really good. It's every emotion. It's laughter. It's sadness, but it's also inspirational. And if you don't win the tickets, I know we've got a great offer as well. On it as well to get some money off the tickets. It's well worth going to, and these should be sold out because he's a fantastic speaker. He's motivational. He's not. I think life changing is probably a bit much, but it's when you listen to people like this, it can have an influence in the way you think about things. And Kevin certainly did that for me.
Yeah, thanks for Craig for supporting us in terms of what we're doing there, giving us a big plug in terms of the membership. And Steph is absolutely right. This time next week, we're going to launch a QR code or a promotional code. We're going to be getting money off tickets. So if you're not the lucky winner, we will be having money off. So if you want to go, hold your horses. We will be getting a discount code from our friends at the Bluebell, where the tickets for Super League Raw members will be discounted for that as well. So that's really good news. So make sure that you're here next week, members. We will be putting something on the WhatsApp to make sure that everybody who can go is entered into that draw, and we will do the draw this time next week for lucky people are off to watch Kevin Sinfield, courtesy of Super League Raw. Also, as well, the opportunity is there for our members. They automatically have been included in the prize draw for this one. But if you're not a member or you are a member and you want to increase your chances, you can still enter the big one. That's right, Ashes Game 2 at Everton Stadium. It's sold out, but again, we're giving a pair of tickets away to come and watch Game 2 of the Ashes at Everton on the 1st of November. So again, if you want all the information with regards to that, you can scan the QR code. It'll take you straight to the page, or go to our website, go to the shop for all the information. All the proceeds will be donated back to Grassroots Rugby League in 2026. Now, here's another announcement for you. I've already told you that we're all going to the grand final, okay? We have got limited places, and I must stress this, limited places to, if you've already got your tickets and you're not sitting with Super League Raw, but you want to enjoy grand final, pre and post grand final with Super League Raw, we have got the right offer for you. If you go again to our website, first come, first served, we have got a brilliant offer for you. The Bluebell are going to be putting on a coach from the Bluebell directly to Old Trafford and back. Before the game, we're going to be enjoying fish and chips. So before we set off to Old Trafford, we're going to be having a fish and chip dinner. There might be a beer waiting for you on the coach as well on the way there. You will arrive in grand style on a private coach at Old Trafford. That same coach will pick us back up, take us back to the Bluebell, where there will be a live band for our pleasure, taking us well into the evening. That will only cost you £32 a ticket. £32 for fish and chips, a bus there and back, and a band with the Super League Raw community. If you would like to be involved in that, you've already got your ticket, but you want that experience of coming with us, then get again over to our website, www.superleagueraw.com. It is on a first come, first served basis. Those that are unlucky, because we can't shut it down, they will be reimbursed. But there are a limited amount of tickets there. I will keep an eye on it. Once we're up to capacity, we will turn it off. There might be one that slips through, and we apologise for that. But lads, that's a great offer. 32 quid, fish and chips before you go, bus there and back, and a band when we get back to Dance the Night Away. That sounds like an incredible grand final to me.
Superb. Absolutely superb, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. That's what it's all about. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not a member yet, maybe you start to think, these boys are onto something. These boys are onto something. It's all about the great community of Rugby League. So, yeah, we'd love to see as many as possible at the Bluebell and coming and enjoying that wonderful, wonderful offer. All the details you need on our website. Right. This was a tough one this week, especially at fullback. Let's get to the team of the week. Here we go. Team of the week is sponsored by The Good Estate Agent. With an average turnaround time of 3 weeks, if you want your house sold quickly, then contact Stefan today on 01942 356 577. Quote Super League Raw for 33% off. It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 22 with the Good Estate Agent for 2025. Here we go again. Did somebody say Coldplay? At 1 is the scientist of versatility himself, Jack Broadbent. Nobody said being fullback was easy, but Jack doesn't run in circles, and he pulled the puzzle of Wigan apart. At 2, don't panic, Wire fans, it's Jake Pulis, who is proving a more than adequate deputy for Matty Ashton. All I know is there is nothing here to run from, and with Jake, the Primrose and Blue has somebody to lean on. At 3, let's talk Mark Percival. You can paint a picture of something you see. All I know is Percival is a portrait of centre perfection, and in years to come, the Saints will have to find a missing piece to the puzzle that he will leave. At 4 is a man who is not yellow. Ash Handley has stepped into centre and the colours shine for him. You could say he's turned into a centre that is beautiful, and he will bleed himself dry for the blue and amber. At 5 is Tommy Makinson, who put the Wire in trouble at the HJ. He spun a spider's web, and it was the Primrose and Blue in the middle. What a hat-trick of class for one of Super League's best. At 6 is the man who made tears stream down the face of his former employers, Zach Hardacre. It must have felt like they had lost something they haven't replaced. Such was the form of Zach as he guided the Black and Whites home. At 7 is Leeds Rhino's own version of Charlie Brown, Brodie Croft. He smashed the Tigers into smithereens, and he lit a fire in his heart and run wild. He could almost have glowed in the dark. At 8, who needs clocks to tell you that the Herminator is at it? It must have been like swimming against the tide. He put the Leopards on their knees. Talk about trouble that can't be tamed. At 9, on a field full of stars, is Jez Litton. Did anyone shine brighter on the night? Jez lit up the path to victory for the Robins with defence that left sparks on the surface. At 10 is a man who is completing an adventure of a lifetime, and he's not finished yet, Liam Watts. He didn't buckle under the pressure or the weight. He felt the heart under his skin and made the FC fans feel alive again. Go on, Liam, lad. At 11 is no angel sent from above, but he made the Rhinos world light up. James Bentley gave the Leeds faithful a performance as sweet as a hymn for the weekend, and he got them feeling drunk and high. At 12 is Dean Hadley, who makes the Robins fans feel like falling in love, maybe for the first time, every time they watch him play. He was born to thrill. La 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 la. And finally at 13 is a man who almost has a higher power at loose forward, John Asiata. This boy is electric, and he used to rule the world as a leopard. Talk about sweeping the streets, he used to own quality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your team of the week for round number 22. Yes, Reg, we'll be back hopefully in a moment or two. Bit of Coldplay there for your Steph, bit of Coldplay for you. Go, we're down with the kids, you know, it's relevant. It's relevant. Tough decision at fullback. I had to go with Jack Broadbent. Sailor, Miller. I know there's going to be people split on this one. Broadbent did come out on top on a lot of the polls that we did on YouTube and on Facebook. I just felt at number one, Jack's performance against the quality Wigan Warriors. I mean, look, Wigan played well. They played defensively well. They weren't out of it. They only lost 10-6. But I thought Jack Broadbent's display, very assured. You know, it's not his week in, week out position. For him to slot in there and have the competent game that he did, I think was priceless for KR, and that's why I gave it him.
Yeah, and it was tough carries, wasn't it, as well? It was that was so impressive from him. I thought it was fantastic in this game, and it was a tough decision at fullback. You could make arguments for quite a few, especially Miller. But you've got to look at the opposition they're playing as well, and things like that. Brodie Croft, I thought, was exceptional for Leeds, and that's really, really encouraging for them. Jez Litton, he's got to be the starting 9 for me in the Ashes. I thought he was superb again in this game, and Hadley as well. He's put his marker down. So there's a few. I think the biggest one here is John Asiata. Not for just his performance against Lee, but the impact now of losing him. Been announced today, gone for the season. That's massive for FC.
Yeah.
But I would say Zach Hardacre as well. We talked about players playing out of position. Zach at 6, I thought, did a tremendous job for FC. And Makinson, another one who we've questioned this year in terms of how well he's gone at Catalan. But then to score 3 tries, my heart bled for him when he had to go off at half time. And hopefully he can come back and finish the season.
Yeah, right. Again, I've got to give credit to Reggie. Reggie, before we came on air tonight, got told that his dad, an ambulance had been called for his dad. He's just sent me a message to say he's off to hospital. His dad's not well. He apologises. Nothing to apologise for, Reggie. We wish John and Greg, of course, and the family all of our love and best wishes. Not good news, but obviously need to explain where Greg has gone. But he put a hell of a shift in there. An hour and 20, knowing full well that in the background, an ambulance had been called for his dad. Humble to have him as a mate when he's gonna do that. And I'm sure everybody watching tonight sends Greg nothing but our best wishes. It's just me and Steph flying solo from now until the end, Steph, but not good news.
No, but fair play to Reggie for coming on and doing that, and hope everything's okay.
Absolutely. As we go through that team, I think for me, one of the ones that might surprise people, but when you look at it with a fresh pair of eyes, Liam Watts for FC against Lee. He rolled back the ears. He had a real solid prop forward. Was one of those positions this week where nobody was really amazing. Yes, Cassell scored a try, but apart from that, and it was a pretty straightforward try against weak opposition. Apart from that, you're going, Jesse Sue got the one. You look at his stats, nothing special. But Liam Watts, a lot of went to Hull FC under a bit of a cloud from Castleford. Many people felt he was over the hill. He really stood up against you boys, didn't he, at the weekend?
Yeah, and he had a really good game, really solid game. I think if you talk about the game specifically, I think Lee losing Joffa early days was a big loss for Lee, and no more so because you had SASA and Watts running at you. But I thought he had a great game, and some questioned when he left Castleford and went to FC. I think in this game he showed he still got it, and it was a really good performance from him.
Absolutely. So and the other one's Hardacre, and Brodie Croft. I mean, we spoke about Brodie Croft in round one. Pat thought he had a stellar game, better game than Connor, and yet Connor's in team of the week playing scrum half when he started at standoff. You couldn't write it, and the player who played scrum half, I felt had a better game on the day in Brodie Croft. You just couldn't write it. And like I say, here at Super League Raw, there is no narrative. We get into the detail. The player who played best in their position, we take into account like Jack Broadbent. It'd be too easy to just give it to Saylor, who scored 2 tries and 1 assist and was exceptional. And Miller had a try and assist. Jack didn't score a try. Jack didn't score an assist. But when you take into account the opposition, when you take into account that's not his natural position that he plays in, week out, and he was brilliant under the eye ball. He was brilliant bringing the ball back out of the backfield. He had a sensational game against, second in the league. That's why he's in our team of the week. We don't take the easy route, do we?
Absolutely not, and it's good that we show players for what they are and take a lot of things into consideration. So well deserved. All the players in this week's team of the week. I think it was a really good selection, a tough one as well. Some very close calls.
100%, mate. Very, very much so. Right, okay. So that's the team of the week. Let's get into this.
Ooh, pass me a cucumber sandwich.
Yeah, it's time to go for the cucumber sandwiches. Here we go. Where are we going to start? Shall we start at... where are we going to start on this? I don't know where to start. Let's start at... Shall we start with your... No, actually, they got your game right. All FC, different orders, but no arguments. Asiata, Hardacre, Cust. Whoever that person was, fair play. No issues with that. No issues with that at all. Leeds, 1 for Hanley, 2 for Miller, 3 for Jake Connor. Did you see Jake Connor as man of the match? I didn't.
No, Brodie Croft had a better game.
I thought Croft was better. I found that very, very odd indeed. In terms of Saints, you could have given it to a multitude of people. That said, they gave a point to Alex Walmsley in a game of attack. No, I mean, found that very, very odd. I have to say. I mean, the likes of Felt had a good game. Morgan Knowles for me in the middle unit probably was the best.
Bye had a really
good game. They gave 2 to Clark and they gave 3 to Saylor. Warrington. They gave 1 to Chris Satai. No, sorry, but no. Chris Satai did 49 metres from 7 carries, 1 tackle bust. Sorry, Chris Satai wasn't top 3 on that park. They gave 2 to Matula Guare. No issue with that. He had Warrington first half down the right edge.
Right hand side, yeah.
He had a really good game. So, again, where he's concerned, I can see him getting 2. We've got no issues with that. 3 points. Who do you think he gave 3 points to? You were there.
Makinson.
You think? Great first half. And, of course, the fact that he weren't out for the second half could go against him. He still went into our team of the week because it was a pretty much flawless first half from Makinson. But no, it's not him.
They'll probably give it to Mark Sneed for his mistake.
They gave it to Mark Sneed.
You're joking.
No, they gave 3 points to Mark Sneed. Can you... It's ridiculous.
He was responsible for 2 of the Catalans' tries. Really poor tackling.
Mate, he kicked 5 goals, but he can only kick 5 goals if he's put in that position by people scoring tries. I mean, unbelievable decision that. Couldn't get that one at all. And then the last one is, of course, the biggie. KR against Wigan. And again, well, a Wigan player got a point. Which Wigan player was the best on the park? It's a toughie, isn't it? I didn't give a single point to a Wigan player, but it's a toughie. If a Wigan player got a point,
Field,
you're going to go Field. They gave it to Zach Eckersley, top 3 player on the park, never in a million years. They gave 2 to Jez Litton. So based on the fact that Jez Litton has got 2, who do you think got 3?
Hadley.
Hadley. Be a shout. Great in defence. Scored the try. If it weren't Hadley, though, who would you give it to?
Well, I'd give it to Litton as a man of match. But,
Who else caught the eye in a KR shirt?
Broadbent.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Jesse Sue. Jesse Sue got 3 points. Wow. Wow. That's all we're saying. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Anyway, there you go. Let's leave that one there. Let's go into the Predictions League. And Mr. Sale, take a bow. He's there. He had an absolute storming week, did the Sale. He is now leading Reggie by 3. Mate, when you consider you were well down the pecking order about 5-6 weeks ago, that's outstanding.
I'm leading Reggie by 10.
No, you're not. Leading by 3. 3-10.
No, that's
no. Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, you're beating the. Oh, hang on. Have I done that right? Oh, Greg, thank God Greg's not here. I think I've got that in the wrong order. I think Greg's on 310. Let's just have a quick look. Luckily, I've got my stuff here. Oh, no, it's not. No, yeah, you're beating Reggie by 10. My apologies. It is the members who are 307. Then the non-members 291. Joel at 289. I'm at 285. And Earl 282. So very, very, pretty close still. It's still game on. But I would say, looking at that, it's the top 3 that are vying for the Prediction League winner 2025. Having won it 2 seasons out of 4, I can live with that. Let somebody else have a go. I sound like Craig Forth, don't I? You know what I mean? I could turn around to you, Steph, if you win it and say, make sure you brass all me trophy, like Craig said.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig. Hope you're well, mate. All the very, very best. Right, okie dokie. Let's get into it. I'm only joking. Let's get into this week's games. And there's some belters, absolute belters, none more so. Thursday night, the Leeds Rhinos taking on Hull KR. What a great game that is. Then Saints go up against FC. FC off the back of that win. No Asiata, though. That, for me, is critical. Really, really critical, but should be a good game. Then it's Lee against Salford. The Catalan Dragons taking on Castleford. Bottom of the table. In its own way, probably might be a close game. Unlikely to be entertaining, I would say. I think it'd probably be a gritty affair. But, hey, it's Saturday night entertainment at 6 o'clock, and I'll be watching because I like my rugby league. Then it's the Giants taking on the Wire, Sunday at 3. And, of course, another big game. Wigan Warriors taking on Wakefield Trinity Sunday at 3 o'clock. Now, in the titles to the show tonight, Steph, I did say that 3 teams are chasing Wigan. Of course, Saints are going up against FC. You're going up against Salford. And we may as well say straight away, we'd expect Lee to be on 31 points at the end of this weekend. I think that's a given. Nobody's going to see any shocks there. Leeds up against KR, another really, really big game, that one. As much as KR look to be now pretty much unassailable, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Leeds could do the double over KR. And if Leeds were to win that, who knows what's going to happen in that Wakefield Trinity Wigan game. That's a tough game for Wigan. It really is game on for second, and Wigan need to be looking over the shoulder, don't they?
And it's going to be an amazing run-in. I think the fixture list is fascinating. We had a good chat today on the WhatsApp group in terms of where we think teams are going to finish on points and who they're going to drop points against. But it's going to be nip and tuck, and I think the key one for me in terms of that second position, Wigan really need to step up now and put the KR result behind them. More than capable of doing it. I do expect Wigan to finish in that second position. But if they slip up, then there's going to be 3 teams that are going to be coming right for them. So, but also the third, fourth position, because that could be crucial in terms of getting a home tie as well. So there's so much over the next 5 weeks we've got to look forward to. And every game matters, which is what we want. And that's. I think this has been one of the best seasons of Super League, and it's great to see today as well that the viewing figures are up, attendances are up, despite all the games being televised. It's very easy to fall into the trap of negativity in our sport and look at the bad things. That should have been really celebrated to me today. The fact that the attendances have been brilliant this season, and also the viewing figures for Sky, which also matters in terms of the negotiation of the new TV deal.
Absolutely. And a lot of people saying that Salford have diluted that. I disagree. I think actually, they're going to have a good hand. I think they really are going to have a good hand. All the matrix are up. Yes, and that's despite Salford. So, for me, I think we're in a good spot. And if the teams, like we've already looked at the championship table, whoever comes up, if they can, improve their squads, because the likes of York, the likes of Oldham have got really good squads already. If they were to come up to lose, of course, they're not at the top of the championship for no reason. If they can add to their squads, there's every chance. And there's going to be enough players that are going to be perhaps looking for new clubs because they've been overtook. We talked about Lewis Murphy at Saints. Owen Dagnall appears to have overtook him at Saints. Will Lewis be happy fighting for his position, or will he take an option of maybe going elsewhere? Would Saints release him? All these questions. It's going to be a fascinating winter when we get to that stage. Adam Reeves in the chat, gone super chatting again. Grand final experience this year is going to be great. It is, and I'm really delighted to tell the members that Heather Bailey has just got herself 2 tickets to come to the Bluebell and everything that goes with it. She's already got tickets for the grand final, but she's going to be travelling with us. She's going to be coming back and enjoying the band with us. Heather Bailey only joined us last week, and already Heather has made a debut on the final whistle and is now coming to the grand final with Super League Raw, albeit she won't be sat with us, but she will be enjoying the day with us. Really looking forward to your company, Heather. Well done for picking those tickets up. Who's next? Still limited availability on the coaches. Make sure you don't miss out. Heather didn't want to leave it to chance. She's already got hers. Right, let's get to the Thursday night game. Here we go. These are the 2 teams. Let's just quickly move that over to the other side. There you go. Right, Mikel Angeletsky is pictured and he's back, having recovered from a fractured cheekbone that he got against Saints back in July. Joe Shorrocks also comes into the squad. A couple of academy players who were in the squad last year, they have dropped out. Of course, still a lot of players missing for the Rhinos. Cooper Jenkins, Tom Allwood, Cameron Smith, the pick of the bunch with regards to that. As for Hull KR, Tyrone May returns. Of course, JWH has dropped out due to his ban. Side by side, 2 very impressive squads. This should be a great game.
Should be a cracker. I'm really looking forward to watching this one. I think Brad Arthur said today it's going to be the same 17. I think Mick's pick up another injury in training, which is very sad. He's obviously a big part of that Leeds side.
Yeah.
And to be fair, to do what Leeds have done without some of their key players has been phenomenal these last few weeks. But yeah, it's going to be a cracking game. It's definitely the tie of the round, and has massive implications as well in terms of, we've already said we expect KR now to win the league leaders, but in terms of the chasing pack, this has massive implications.
Absolutely. I mean, it'd be a massive win for Leeds. Like I say, where KR are concerned, they've got 2 tough games back to back. They've got Leeds, they've got Saints. Both teams, of course, vying to try and chase down the Wigan Warriors. And then, of course, their last 3, FC, Trin, and Wire. Difficult, not easy games, but I would expect, and of course, I did say this on final whistle. They only need a couple of wins as it stands now. And I think for me, FC Wire, I can't see FC and Wire landing a glove on KR. And that's not to say they won't pick up wins against Leeds, Saints, or Trin either. I just think the League Leaders Shield is done, but Leeds are going to come into this full gusto. They had a great win, really good win against KR at Craven Park. They'll fancy this. They will absolutely fancy it. No doubt about that whatsoever. It's going to be a real belting game. I, for one, cannot wait for this one on Thursday night. It should be a class game. Not many people going in the chat thus far in terms of their predictions, which is very unusual. Ben Macklin straight in there, just as I said it, 1-8. They're all basking in the glory that Heather is joining us at the grand final at the Bluebell. But anyway, let's get in there. Greg did leave us his predictions before he went. He is saying KR 9-17. Joel sees it as KR 1-8. The members see it as KR 1-8, as does Dawn Kirkby in the chat. What say you, Mr. Sale?
Yeah, I'm with them. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I'm going KR 1-8.
KR 1-8. I'm going to go KR 9-17. Think it'd be a great game, though. It'll be a great game. Really looking forward to that. Should be a belter. Right, let's go to Saints. Saints taking on Hull FC. Quite a few, again, Nicola Burton will KR once away, Craig Forth KR once away. I don't think, Nigel Bennett. Nigel Bennett has gone Leeds. Nigel Bennett has gone Leeds once away in the chat. He's the only, Kerry Robinson, sorry Rovers, but Leeds once away. So a couple going Leeds, not many. The vast majority going KR, but once away. Not many 90-17s, but I do think KR for me at the moment, they just look incredible. And it's that defence. That's the thing. When you, how many times have we said this? You know, us Lancashire podcasters. How many times have we said about a Yorkshire team this season that their defence is just different gravy? I mean, you know, if you're only conceding that amount of points, you know, less than 8 a game, you're not losing many matches, are you? I just can't. Yeah, but that said, Leeds' defence has been good. But I'm going to go KR 90-17. Right, FC. We said this on Round Unpacked. I'm going to say it again. When Asiata went off, they looked rudderless. Absolutely rudderless in that game. Are we about to see just how much they rely on John Asiata against a free-flowing Saint-Helens side?
Yeah, not just John Asiata, it's Will Price as well.
See, I don't. But Price for me hasn't done enough. I mean, this might be contentious. Some of the black and white supporters might not let me say. I don't think Will Price has pulled up any trees yet because he's hardly been in the team. You know, Will Price for me, he got 5 assists, the other week against Salford, but it was against Salford. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, Will Price, good player, but has he really hit his straps yet? No. We know he's a good player, but with Hardaker that can drop in there, young Kempy did well at the weekend. I don't think that's a major problem. I think the big problem is John.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right to say that it is. And when John went off against Leeds, they looked a different side. Simple as that. So yes, it's going to have an impact. I would have been tempted to go FC 1-8 in this game. That's so much. I thought that John has that much of an impact. With him not there, I'm going to go Saints 9-17.
You're going Saints 9-17. That is where the sale is going. The man who leads the predictions. Hey, first time you've been joined. You've not been top on your own yet. Hey, there you go. He's looking happy, isn't he? Nicola Burtonwood, Saints 9-17. Emma Bailey, Saints 9-17. Rebecca 9-17. Paul Bourman's gone Hull FC 1-8. Kerry Robinson, Saints 1-8. Tight game. A very low scoring tight one, says Greg Roach. Craig Forth, Saints 9-17. But I'm actually with Jake. I'm with Jake and with Tom Massa and with Nigel Bennett. I'm going 18 plus Saints. Genuinely. I'm going 18 plus Saints. And here's one as well, just for the Saints fans, because I did say, didn't I, when we were doing the chat earlier on, that we've backed Paul Wellens all season. So I'm coming from a place of elevation here, because at no point, and it was even, if you go back and check the Paul Wellens press conference at Warrington, where I was sticking up for him to his face because I thought he was being treated terribly at the time. Can I just say as I was trolling through, trying to find wobbles and our new feature, Take a Bow Son, which I thought was outstanding tonight. When I was actually going through that, there's a couple of Saints fans in there that believe that a one-line apology to Paul Wellens is acceptable. All I would say is that any Saints fan who was trolling Paul Wellens and his family, if they believe that a hollow apology on Facebook is acceptable for a coach that has played with distinction for your side, who did not deserve the flack that was given to him, he should have been given far more respect. What I would say to those people, and they're out there, and I'm not speaking to the people who, and Saints fans, I hope you'd agree with me. Those Saints fans who trolled his family, who gave him a torrid time at the start of this season, write a full letter of apology. Put your name to it. Send it into the club. Mean your words. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. But I think Saints win this 18 plus. I think they're on a roll. I think they look settled. I think they just suddenly look settled. People are in the right positions. Dagnall's been incredible. Felt the two wingers are playing different class. Percival, on his day, one of the best centres in the league. Robinson's got pace to burn. So again, experience and youth. Beautiful, beautiful. You've got Saylor and Wellesby now coming back. Job done. And Mbai's been very good at scrum half. That's why they're not going to move him. Clark is Clark. The front unit of Saints all season have been making, all this, they're playing behind a beating pack. Alex Walmsley's been stellar. all year. Matty Lees is a tackling machine. Might not give you much goal for, but he's a tackling machine. You know, Parzy's hit and miss. Depends what week it is. They've got a great back line. You know, for me, all the parts are just starting to look right. And for me, I'm going 18 plus FC. I think FC Saints. This could be that week where people go, oh God. Tell you, I watch the Saints. I don't know what it is. I just get a feeling that Saints are going to have a big part to play in the playoffs. I know that you said they've got to beat people. They can only beat the next team, and I think the next team's FC, and I think they could win comfortable. I've just done that could be a highlight reel all of its own next week when Hull FC win, but we'll have to wait and see. Joel, he's gone Saints 9-17. Greg went Saints 9-17, as did the members. Well said, Dave. Everybody's in agreement over the Wellens piece. Thank you very much indeed. Great to see our community agreeing with me on that. It's unacceptable to hide behind a keyboard. Have a bit of class is what I would say. Stephen Broomfield, Saints 1-8. No Asiata, no party was the same when he was with us last year, says Tom. Yeah, no love for FC. Really, or very little love for FC. Most going the way of Saints. Right, okay. We move on to the next one, of course. In fact, let's just do it really quickly. Lee 18 plus, if the game goes ahead.
Yeah.
We move on. We'll do this one quite quickly. Catalan against Casford Tigers. I'm going to watch it because I love me rugby league. I know you'll watch it because you love rugby league. What else is on at 6 o'clock on Saturday night? And in its own way, it could be fascinating. I think Castleford, especially Chris, I mean, we're going to learn a lot about, I think, the Casford Tigers players and Catalan players because both need to improve. Catalan should have won at Warrington. They should have won. They were in a great position 37 minutes into that game. They should never have lost that game, and they did. Castleford, embarrassing, and it was embarrassing. You know, all Tigers fans would agree with that. Chris Chester, you know, came out and said so at full time. So it's going to be fascinating. As you said about Warrington, lad, you're playing for your shirt next year. The same can be said for Catalan and Castleford players in this game. It's going to, and if they both rise to the occasion, it could be a great game of rugby league. And I think they need to turn it on, don't they, Steph?
They do, yeah. But I'm going to base my prediction on a side who I thought looked really good, and I saw in the flesh for the first half at Warrington. I think the Makinson injury had a massive impact on them. I thought it was probably one of the best I've seen Catalan play this season, actually, that first half. And I know you can attribute that to some of Warrington's play as well in terms of their poor defence, but they looked on it. It was exciting play. Cass obviously got obliterated by Leeds. I think Catalan go home and they're going to put a performance on for their fans. I'm going Catalan 18 plus.
That's a big win. Big win for Catalan. Without Makinson?
Yeah.
Whoa, go on, Saley, lad.
They'll bring Yaha back in.
Hey! Fuad Yaha, what a player. You know what, Jay? Fuad Yaha, it's a bit of a fall from grace. About 3 or 4 years ago, we was flying. Davis on one way, Fuad Yaha on the other. You know, and then Johnstone came in and it all went Pete Tong for that. Good player on his day, Yaha. Good player. Love it when he goes over a try and he goes, yeehaw! Anyway, we move on. Catalan 9-17 is what I'm going for. Joel's going Catalan 9-17. The members are going the Catalan Dragons 9-17. And Reggie's going 9-17, as is Nicola Burtonwood, as is Ben Macklin, as is, Phil Webster's gone 1-8. Steve Broomfield and Peter Barley going Catalan 18 plus. Cass 1-7. Nigel Bennett playing his own game. Good lad. Obviously, you don't need the 8. He's confident. It's 1-7. Catalan 9-17. A lot of love for Catalan Dragons 9-17. Fair play. Right. Giants against Warrington. Interesting game. Warrington, of course, good second half. Will King play. Will Duffy play. Is Vaughan, I think Burgess said Vaughan should return for this one. He had an injury that he should be fit for this one. So we should see Paul Vaughan back. Giants, you don't know what you're getting from one week to the next, but the fact that Frawley's gone down now as well. So again, the halfback combination's been destroyed. It's going to make it very tough for the Giants, isn't it?
It is, and I think a lot on this one depends on whether Duffy comes back and King to a lesser extent. But I think if both those two players do come back, how did they do in the reserves, by the way, against?
Kingy got a try. Duffy played reasonably well, but Kids shone. They won. They beat Wigan.
Right.
It was what it was. You know, they both had decent games, but you'd expect them to at that level, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. I think if both those twos play, and with the Frawley injury now, how disjointed that Huddersfield side is, and it pains me to say it because I think that in the Huddersfield squad have got makings of a good team, but it just feels like every week something goes wrong for them. I'm going to put my neck out here. I'm going to go Warrington 18 plus.
Big win for the Wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone 9-17 the Wire. Don't know what Greg's on. He's gone Huddersfield 9-17. He clearly don't want to win this year again. I don't see that. I will bow to him if he's right. That'd be an incredible prediction if it comes good. Joel's gone 9-17 the Wire. The members have gone 9-17 the Wire. Carl Shaw sees it Wire 1-8. Rebecca Frey 9-17 the Wire. Nigel Bennett the same. Nicola Burton the same. Dawn Kirby's gone 18 plus. Steve Broomfield 1-8. Jill over in Canada. Hello Jill. Hope you're well. Need you back on the final whistle, Jill. 9-17 the Wire. Volstagg has gone 9-17 the Wire as well. 18 plus says Craig Forth. Tom 9-17. Kerry Robinson. Giants 1-8. You don't need to do that to get a shout out, Kerry. I'll give you a shout out anytime you want. Anyway, you're only joking. Let's get to the last one. And do you know what? You know, there's only one game on Sky Sports Plus and the Red Button, on Super League Plus and the Red Button on Sunday at 3 o'clock. It ain't the Giants Warrington. It's Wigan Wakefield. What a great game that one is. If Sky had anything about them, they'd have put this on. Because this again is quality fare for me. Really good game. Wigan, you know, they've been a bit. You know, we keep saying it. There's vulnerability there. Wakey, they've shone at times this season. They've had another week off, another rest. As we see with Lee, can do you good or can do you badly. Haven't been the same since their rest, has to be said. So it'll be interesting to see which version of Wakey comes out and plays the Warriors. But there's no doubt about it, Steph. If the Wakefield Trinity that has been on for a lot of the season travels down to the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan have got a game on, haven't they?
They have, you know, Wakefield are a quality side. They've got threats all over the park. My only concern for Wakefield is defensively, can they cope? But then you look at Wigan's attack, and you've got to say it misfired against KR. And I know we're comparing that to a very, very good KR defence. But the big one here is who's coming back for Wigan. You know, if they get French and Semba and Thompson back, you'd expect Wigan to win comfortably. But then you've also got to factor in that those players are just coming back and they're not going to be up to speed. Something tells me this is going to be a real one that's going to surprise a few people. I think it's really going to shake up the positions. I'm going to go Wakey 1-8.
Oh, that's a biggie, that. That's a biggie, that. Hey, oh, that's a biggie, that. Let's go. Now, what is Mr. Sale doing here, ladies and gentlemen? What is he doing here? Let's go back to this little beauty. If we expect Lee to win against Salford, that will put them on 31 points. And if he's right, that'll put them a point behind the Warriors. I can see what you're doing there, Mr. Sale. And do you know what? He could be right. He could be right. Who's to say he is wrong? It's going to be it could go either way. And Semba's going to be back. French and Thompson won't feature for several weeks, says Dawn. They're still not back, which is interesting. Dawn must know what she's talking about there. Wigan 9-17, Wakey by 1, fingers crossed. So, okay, so yeah, he expects Wigan 9-17, Panthera Pardus, but Wakey by 1 is what they're hoping. And Semba is 100% back. Fantastic. Hope for Wakey win, but Wigan 9-17. Wigan 9-17 says Nigel Bennett, Nicola Burtwood, Jill. No surprises who Jill's back in Wigan 9-17. Dawn Baker 18 plus. That'd be a hell of a win, Dawn. If Wigan win that 18 plus, that's a hell of a statement win because Wakey are playing well. Can they bounce back that well? They need it. It'd be a leveler. It'd be a settler for them if they could get a really good win over a really good Wakey Trinity team. Keith Lambert, Wakey 1-8. Craig Forth 9-17. Wigan. A lot of love for Wigan. Volstagg, Trim 1-8. Saints fan. You won't expect anything less, would you? Really? But most the same Wigan. All I know is should be an absolute belter of a game. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic couple of hours of entertainment for you. We've had the brand new feature. What did you make of the new feature, Steph? Did you like a bit of Take About Son? Did you like that?
I always love celebrating good humour. You know me, Dave. I love when it's done in the right way.
Yeah. I agree.
But also exceptionally funny. Then that should be celebrated.
I agree. And, this is what I thought. You know what? Some people might think that wobbles, it's funny, but, you're having a go. We're not really having a go. We're having a bit of fun. But there's no arguing with, take a bow, son. So when I'm looking through any of them now, we're celebrating. We will celebrate. Of course, the wobbles in their own way are funny. But the take a bow, son, some of them, the humour of a rugby league fan, absolutely different gravy. So we will continue to celebrate them as and when we see them in a top three kind of way. There are going to be some incredible announcements. We're not going to tell you what they are. A couple of members have already got on the inside, but keep it quiet. 2026 is going to be an even bigger season for Super League Raw. We have got some incredible things in the melting pot, groundbreaking things in the melting pot for our members. And for your entertainment as well.
That's not the pub in Toulouse. That's for anybody.
No, not the pub in Toulouse match. No, but we have got some really exciting announcements coming for 2026 at the start of the new season. We don't want anybody to pinch our ideas. We're holding them very close to our chest. But let me tell you now, we have got some really groundbreaking stuff on the way for next season. Nobody's doing it. We will do it. We'll continue to champion this great game that is rugby league. We are passionate about it. We're glass half full about it. We'll leave all of the bad politics and all the rest to other people. We will just celebrate the great game that is rugby league, and we will highlight the great moments that it provides us, and of course the friendships that it gives us as part of Super League Raw. Trust me, come and give it a go. Come and give it a trial. If you become an 18-man member for £2.99, we will give you a 1 month free trial of 6 again. And every person who's took that trial thus far has upgraded to 6 again. So let me tell you now, that's a great offer. Come and do it for £2.99, and believe you me, you'll see exactly why so many people are getting on the bus Super League Raw and are loving the journey. Steph, as always, mate, love your company. We will, of course, be back for Captain's Run this Thursday at 6 p.m, just before the Leeds Hull KR game. We will take you right up to the Sky Sports production. But on behalf of ourselves, and of course, best wishes to John and Greg and all the family, we will be back next week for more Super League Raw. Here are your top performers and what you've got to look forward to over the next 7 days. Bye for now. Here are your top performers after 22 rounds of the Betfred Super League. Leading the try-scoring chart, another one at the weekend, it's Lewis Martin of Hull FC. He's got 21. The most try assists have still come from Lachlan Lamb of the Leeds Leopards. He's on 30. Whilst the most meters made have come from Lachlan Miller of the Leeds Rhinos, 3,405 and counting. The most clean breaks have come from Joe Burgess of Hull KR, 25. Whilst the top tackler is still Oliver Partington, just one short of 900. The top tackle buster, and by some distance now, is Lachlan Miller of the Leeds Rhinos, 145. Whilst the most hard meters down the middle have still come from Alex Walmsley, 2,750 for the Saints. The most offloads have come from Tane Milne of Huddersfield Giants, he's on 45. Whilst the most goals have still come from the boot of Arthur Maud of the Robins with 71. These are your top performers after 22 rounds.